There he is.
Yo, yo.
Hey, little buddy. Look how hip you are with the yo-yo.
Yo, yo.
Yo, oh, what are you drink? What are you drinking there, Howard?
Camus?
Camus. There we go. Howie Long, everybody. So let me show you what I'm having. Remember the thing we've been fighting over that Kurt has Kurt Menefee is
The
right?
water machine or drink machine?
He's crapped all over it, right? So look, I'm about to make a little Mai Tai over here. So just like Carrick, okay, you put one of these little things in.
Right.
Okay, right over here. Bam, ready?
Now,
Put my glass here.
someone told me it takes way too long.
No, that's only if you turn it off. That was my guy. I don't turn mine off. I don't turn my Carrick off. Do you?
I don't have a machine.
So just press that right there. You see that little pothole on? Ready? Ready? Bam! Mai Tai. Look at that. Mai Tai.
Why when I see you in this format and you're doing the drink machine, do I think you're getting ready to sell me a ShamWow?
Hey, if you buy one of these drink machines for me, you too. You get a free get
into a boat. I love that guy.
Oh my God! You know the other guy. Remember? Bill. What was his name? He did the. Oh man. Billy Mays here with OxyClean, right? That guy. He was Rondé Barber's next door neighbor.
He seems a little creepy.
He's not with us anymore. But.
Oh really? God bless him.
Oh God bless him.
No, listen.
How quickly you changed to a nice guy.
The late.
Mm-hmm.
No,
he was Rondé's next door neighbor.
It does the golly, what it is, the rubber. You can seal your boat up. You can, it. If they had it on the Titanic, it never would have sank.
Sounds like some Bradshaw shit.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Hey, l'chaim, brother.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Thank you. Cheers. Appreciate you coming on. So,
what a year, huh? What a year.
My God, right? And I don't know about you, but when we first started this year, I struggled. I almost felt guilty. Like, man, I'm reporting on COVID and football when people are, dying out there. I struggle. And Kurt, who's our therapist, kind of helped me through it a lot. But looking back now, I'm so glad we got through the season, man. I think this country really needed an escape like this.
The big thing that I kept hearing, and I'm sure you heard the same thing, was, boy, we need football. We just can't wait for football. And it is a somewhat of a distraction, and that's a good thing. I think it gives people an opportunity to escape for 3, 6, 7 hours on a Sunday. But if you had told me prior to week one, we would get through 17 weeks and then postseason, I would have told you were crazy.
Yeah, me too.
I just didn't see it happening. And
players deserve a lot of credit. And
working with Terry, it's like herding cats. Trying to get him, on stay in the line.
Hey, somebody has already asked a question here, because obviously my glass of blaze isn't normal, right? So we're going to not just do normal shit. Somebody already asked a question about Lyle Alzado. Tell everybody the story about you and Lyle on the way to...
Which one do you want? Are you talking about the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl one. Is he the most fucked up dude you've ever been around?
Let's start from the beginning. Oh. We were one of the rare teams that I got drafted up in Oakland, figured out where it was. I was making $38,000. Bought a used Coupe de Ville from a guy named, I think, Bernie Perlin, who was my agent. He was a used car salesman. And I think he had a couple of other businesses in Tucson, Arizona. It had never been west of, Maryland. And flew out there. And
wait, your first agent was a used car salesman?
Yes. That's how low on the radar I was coming out. I ended up getting to play in the blue-gray game because a player got hurt, and a kid that I played with in high school named Joe Restick. His dad was on the selection committee. And as a replacement, I came down, and Jimmy Johnson was the coach.
I know that, right?
And
a lot of people there probably don't know that.
I ended up
coached you in the right.
And during the course of the week, you know how it is at those bowl games, all the, scouts and teams talk to players, and not one person spoke to me the whole week. And I thought, you never know. And getting drafted in the second round was a shock. And then going out to Oakland. And so I played my rookie year out there at the Oakland Coliseum. I'm coming off the bench on third down. Second year comes around, in comes Lyle Alzado. And we made the move from Oakland to Los Angeles, but didn't make the move from Oakland to Los Angeles as a team. So we practiced in Oakland during the week and flew every week to LA to play our home game. So every game was a road game. And Lyle, when we first got there, and I rented my first year. I lived with a guy named Cedric Hardman, who was Joe Green's roommate at North Texas State. And Cedric just passed this year, and Joe and I both spoke at his service. And also Cliff Branch spoke at that service too, and he was great. And then we lost Cliff. It's been one of those years. And so we're trying to figure out what to do in terms of living spaces, because Diane was supposed to go to law school in Northern California. No, she was supposed to go to USC, and she ended up taking a year off.
Wait. Hey, your story, you're becoming Glazer. You're getting ADD.
No. But here it was. Diane's down in Playa del Rey, living in an apartment on runway 3 at LAX, where the DC-10 people literally wave at you as they're flying in.
Right.
And the Cadillac, the used Cadillac that I bought for $8,500, she took it to the beach. She went to the beach down there by Imperial Highway.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Car gets stolen. She calls training camp. I'm like, that's great. It's insurance, blah, blah, blah. I was happy. But Lyle said to me, what are you doing who are you living with? And I said, well, I don't have a roommate yet. I mean, I haven't really thought it through. And he said, well, you can live with me. I
didn't know you lived with Lyle Alzado.
An entire season, ready for this, at the Oakland Airport Hilton in a single room with 2 beds. Okay. So top that. They've got all these shows on TV about Survivor and, Naked and Afraid. And, listen, I stayed in a hotel room with Lyle Alzado for almost 5 months with 2 beds.
That's surviving Naked and Afraid.
That was a funny thing, because Lyle, he was really a routine guy. I mean, we go to the gym and he's benching like 570.
Natural.
And he's benching 570. And he's like, hey, spot me on this. And how the fuck am I going to spot you on this? I can't get this thing off of me. Let's get down at Gold's Gym in Venice.
In Venice, yeah.
And so the year went through, and Lyle played great, and Lyle was great.
Wait. Back it up. You're living with Lyle Alzado in a single room. Don't you at some point in the year go, this shit ain't for me. I got to go get my own room.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. How do you broach that with Lyle? How do you say to Lyle, you turn to Lyle in the bed next to you? Hey, Lyle, this isn't really working out. I'm 22 years old. And most older people have. Lyle we could be watching TV. He ordered a glass of milk and a piece of chocolate cake every night. And as soon as he was done with that glass of milk or a piece of chocolate cake, he shut the TV off and shut the lights off. Didn't say to me, hey, you going to watch Johnny Carson? Or, I don't even know if they had Sports Center at that point.
Right.
Sports Center, and he just shut the light off. So what I ended up starting to do was, and this is where it really gets fascinating, Marcus Allen and golly, I'll remember the linebacker's name. They lived in the room across the hall from us. And I used to get a rollaway and go in there and hang out and watch TV, and I'd sleep in there periodically.
Oh, my God.
Now fast forward to our first home game, which is our first road game.
Right.
We played at the Coliseum. Okay. Now, this is the sub-story to the Super Bowl story. Lyle and I always went to pregame meal, and the minute pregame meal was over, everyone went back up to their rooms, and like an hour and a half later, they, got on the team bus and they left. Lyle and I took a cab religiously to the game every week right after pregame meal down in L.A. So we get in this cab, and bless his heart, I don't know where the driver was from. And, there was I don't know whether it was a communication breakdown, and said, take a and we're driving, and I don't know LA, and Lyle doesn't know LA. We've never been there. And we're literally going to the Coliseum for the first time. We pull into Dodgers Stadium.
Oh, my God.
Now Lyle, who, the meter goes from green to red, and he wants to kill the cab driver.
Oh, my God.
First week we were there, we end up in Dodger Stadium. He said, the other freaking stadium, do I look like fucking, whoever pick out a guy from the
Kirk Gibson, yeah.
And the poor driver, he was so frightened to death. And I got him because I was frightened to death for him. I'm thinking, it was kind of like when he asked me to spot him with 570.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get him off him?
But now, go to the Super Bowl.
So now, fast forward the next year, we beat Seattle in the AFC Championship game, and there were 102,000 people at the Coliseum. It was amazing. And we're going down to Tampa Bay, and we go down there early in the week. There's 5-6 fights during the week in practice, and it was a classic Raider kind of practice and week. And we're going to the game now. For Lyle and I, this is another game.
Yeah, it's your routine.
We're going to treat it like another game. We're going to take a cab to the stadium.
At the Super Bowl.
At the Super Bowl. And this is before, they blocked down streets and, they had snipers on the buildings and, 9/11 changed everything, as you know. But try to imagine two guys right after the pregame meal. They would do the special teams roll call. L2, Smith, Howie, whatever. We got in the car. We're driving to the stadium. And as you can imagine, it was like 3/4 of a mile from the stadium. Traffic just comes to a screeching halt. Now it's obvious we're not going to make it to the stadium in the car. He's trying to get the cab driver to go up on the curb. Cab driver, again, I'm not sure where he's from. They're not speaking the same language. We finally come to the realization we got to get out of the car.
Wait, is Lyle about to kill him?
Yes. Well, he on that day he was definitively ready to kill him.
Were you afraid that you were going to be late for the Super Bowl?
No, I was afraid that we were going to be brought up on murder one charges. I wasn't afraid. You deal with one. Hey, Jay, you deal with one problem before you deal with the next problem. So now we've got our luggage and we've got our bag and the whole thing, and we're walking through the stadium crowd to the stadium for 3 miles, and Lyle is pissed. And I'm affable as long as you don't get too close to me. I'm okay. But Lyle doesn't. Hey, Lyle, fuck you.
Yeah.
He doesn't deal with anybody. So we finally get to the stadium, and what Lyle would do is, and listen, Lyle was great to me, and we had a great relationship. It was like a big brother.
Because you guys were bunking together.
So Lyle would get there, and this is the difference between Lyle and me. Lyle would get there, and he'd get fully dressed, fully taped, not his pads, but he'd get T-shirt, the grays. He'd put on his pants, his football pants, and his socks. He'd lay down on the floor and he'd go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Dead sleep.
Yep.
And here I am going over, okay, out of full left, they run 18 Bob Trejo 14 times. If they flip the fullback, it's Bill Otto. They pass out of this 72% of the time. Next page. You know, I'm looking at every conceivable scenario.
Hey, only a few people, or like all the fighters I've been with backstage, Randy Couture would always like get a little thing. And there's like, it's not like when you're getting ready for a fight back there, one corner is all in one locker room and another corner is the other. So there's 10 fighters in their teams in one locker room. And Randy would go to sleep and guys would be hitting mitts and kind of get pumping themselves and he'd be out cold. And I'd be like, how the fuck can you do this? Like, how the fuck can you do that? That's their happy place.
You know what, though? It depends on what you grew up in or what you're used to. You know, for example, when I was living with my grandmother in Charlestown and my Uncle Mike and Aunt Edie, you could throw a baseball and hit the L train. So that train would by every 10 minutes. And I got used to that. Then I moved out with my Uncle Billy, and it was the first time I played football my sophomore year in high school. And he literally framed me in a room in the basement next to the radiator, next to the heat pump. And it was so quiet, Jay, for the first month because I was so used to noise.
Right.
Couldn't sleep. Couldn't sleep.
But that's a nerves thing. Like that, for Randy, he would always say, because a lot of fucked up shit happened. And like, you're in the MMA world, obviously we're fucking crazy going in. And every time he'd smile, like, and he'd have all these personal issues going on, and he'd smile going down the cage. And one time in particular, some real bad shit was going on. And he went down, he beat the fuck out of Tim Sylvia for the heavyweight championship of the world. Tim is 6'9", 300 pounds. Randy's Randy. And he's smiling, and the shit went down beforehand. I said, how do you do, like, how the fuck can you compartmentalize like that? And he said, that cage is the only place my problems can't touch me. So I can't wait to get in there. Same with the gym. That's what, when I train our players, same thing. Like, man, that our gym, Unbreakable, only place your problems can't touch you. That football field should be that. So that's what, obviously, for Lyle.
That's the way our Raider facility was under Al Davis and Tom Flores. And, you know, we had the walls around the facility and literally it was almost like a Russian nuclear, site. You know, you couldn't get in the building.
Yep.
And nobody knew what went on there. And if there was a fight, nobody knew about it. It wasn't leaked. There was no Jay Glazer. I saw things there that, I went from Villanova, where there was a priest on every floor, to the Oakland Raider locker room.
Was there a fight every week at practice?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I saw some in the locker room. I saw some on the plane. The plane was uncomfortable because you knew you couldn't get off.
Right.
You're stuck.
Yeah, no bouncers.
And you just saw, you saw things that,
wow. That scared the shit out of me.
It was a different organization.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me, getting fights in planes.
The only time Tom Flores, who I hope he gets in the Hall of Fame. He certainly deserves it. Played there as a Raider, coached two teams to championships, the 80 team and the 83 team. And, people say, well, they had talent. And, let me tell you something. Those two teams, although, they were slightly different. When I first got there, it was like, everywhere you look is greatness. It's Art Shell, it's Gene Upshaw, it's Cliff Branch, it's Mark Van Egan, it's, it goes on, Ted Hendricks, Lester Hayes, it goes on and on and on. But it was kind of like Escape from New York a little bit. The movie, it was kind of like that.
Oh, shit.
And
so I would have loved it.
Tom had a poise and calm about him, and he rarely spoke he rarely raised his voice. I think he raised his voice once to me when I got in a really bad fight at work, and he called me and told me, "Don't beat anybody else up on this team. Do you hear me? You ruined that kid." And it was just a bad, and I didn't pick the fight. I mean, I never did. I'll walk 5 blocks around a problem. But Tom was the perfect coach for those teams. And, you know, when you think about, you know, you've got Al Davis as the owner who knows more than 95% of the coaches in football. That's a really tough job, and I think Tom Flores did it. He did it well, and I'm hopeful he gets the call because he certainly just.
All right, so we're going to go back and forth questions here. You got anything for me?
When did you realize it wasn't getting any bigger?
Talking about that?
I mean, no. We knew, the audience knew that, but
I mean, where are we going here, Howie? Where are we going with this, Howie? Where are we going with this?
Curious, because I think you're an extremely confident guy. You've done a remarkable job at maximizing every potential opportunity that you have. You're the best at what you do, but at some point, you know, the dreams of 6'1", 6'2" just kind of went by the wayside.
Oh.
When did that happen?
Oh, yeah. Well, so I had a chance to play football. It's a fucking pussy sport. Or wrestle in high school. So I can cut weight or don't play football. So I decided to cut weight and wrestle. And I'd like to say that stunted my growth. But that's not what stunted my growth. I'm Jewish. That's what stunted my growth.
Wow.
It was the Judaism. Yes.
Wow.
However, once you realize, right?
Hey, my people jumped off ship somewhere.
Hey, one thing I'll tell you, everybody fucks with my height. I said I'm pretty tall when your ass is laying on the ground over there. It's how you carry yourself, right?
Oh,
how you carry yourself. And you and I got into it one day. Hey, how about this? Howie and I got into it one day. Did we not?
Yeah, what's that?
Well, you and I got into it a little bit one day.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a misunderstanding.
So here I am. Why don't you tell it and I'll jump in. Go ahead, tell the story.
Well, Jay's training Kyle. And, you know,
Who's fucking 6'8", 340 with boxes in his stomach. And here's my little Jewish guy training his ass. Go ahead.
I try to kind of stay on the periphery, but, you know, Jay's looking at it from a wrestling standpoint, and I'm looking at it from a football standpoint. I'm saying, well, I'm coming in, maybe this. He's like, dude, fuck, dude, let me do what I do, you know? And he said, you know, let me show you what you do.
Yeah, you were being like Honey Boo Boo's fucking mom.
Right. No question. He whacks me.
You're like a dance mom.
He whacks me in the forearm to show what they're doing. Now you take it over from there.
Right. So I said, hey, Howie, leave us the fuck. I'm trying to show him some hand violence. Instead of slapping hands, wow, we take our little hammer fist, which you've seen in MMA. We're kind of getting each other here. Wow, we hit each other's forearms. And that's what I'm trying to get these guys to do. So Howie, Honey Boo Boo's mom, keeps trying to butt in. So I said, Howie, this is what we're doing. Wow. And he goes, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you do that? And he grabs his keys from his car and puts him in his hand like this and goes to punch me with his key in his knuckle.
Hey, look. Did anyone say anything about the Marcus and Queensberry rules or something? No. Standing 8, go to your... No. You know, listen,
true story.
That is a true story. It wasn't my finest moment, but you know, my childhood came out in me.
I hit the shit out of your forearm too. I was like, I'm a fucking short.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that bone area, forget it.
Yeah, you got all those nerves right there. It's great. I'm like, hey.
The first time I went to one of those, we all went together. Michael, was a championship fight that Fox had.
Yeah.
Or when we first, you know, got MMA.
Yeah, Junior Dos Santos against Cain Velasquez, yep.
Yeah, and I turned to Michael and I said, really violent. Is it making you uncomfortable? This is making me a little uncomfortable.
Oh.
People in the crowd are going,
And wait.
Kill him. And I'm saying, don't you mean knock him out?
And yet you sent Kyle to me. Hey, Jay, here's the keys to the car. Train Kyle, wrestle Sasquatch to help him get ready for the NFL. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Howie. That's fantastic. What a great idea that was.
The only thing that we need to get Kyle in shape and just not get the meter in red.
Right, so you sent him to me.
Red, yeah.
Between Kyle and I, we have like 17 personalities, so
yeah.
You never know, but fuck, I love him. It's so cool that it is like to have Kyle, who he would stay with me, and he would be my son's Manny. He would be my son's Natty. We call him a Manny. And I'll tell this one real quick. He stayed with me for years. We trained him for years. And for those who've seen Kyle Long, how big he is. And one day he comes out at St. Patty's Day around there, and something along those lines. And he comes out to train. I said, all right, just meet me at the house. Just drop your stuff up the house and meet me up. We used to own a bar called Rock and Riley. Just meet me up there. So, all right, no problem. I'm sitting there at the bar, and all of a sudden I get a phone call, and it's Kyle. And I pick up the phone, and he goes, you moved?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, didn't I tell you? He goes, no. He went to my old house, kicked in the door, thinking Sammy was in there going, what's up, motherfuckers? And there's like 2 old people live there now.
Oh,
and they're like, your friend doesn't live here anymore. Your friend doesn't live here anymore. Kyle said he had like the old phone with the cord still.
I think that was.
Could you imagine Sasquatch breaking in your house, yelling out?
I can't.
All right, before I let you go, and I love you for staying this long, because people don't understand, like Howie, I think I bring the locker room to Howie. I fuck with Howie mercilessly, like I do everybody else.
I'm a nerd. You know what I mean?
He's a goof. He's a nerd. He's a nerd. And he's not. He's a bad motherfucker, but he plays a nerd now on TV.
Yeah.
So I play a lot of jokes on Howie. Most of them we can't tell you here. I did stay with him one time when he was having surgery.
Look, but before that,
I'm not going to say this one.
Before that, he would send me photos late at night, you know, like things that you do online, and you know, and saying to him, Jay, do not do this. Let's work up a kind of a scenario here. I get the photo, I have a heart attack, I die. I'm sitting there with my phone with this photo of a pony and a midget.
Right. Guess whose problem that's not?
And it's the last thing my kids are going to. That was the last thing Dad was looking at.
Guess whose problem that's not?
Guess who's what? Yeah.
Guess whose problem that's not? There was one time I did find out Howie's flight information, and I waited till I knew when he was going to be in a commercial aircraft, first class, sitting there, and I sent him a video. It was a very pornographic video. It was a very loud pornographic video. I do believe it was midget porn.
But but I think they like little people.
We like little people. And it was one of those videos where you couldn't turn the sound off.
Because you didn't know what you were opening. You just sent something that, hey, you know, Niners make key trade.
And here's Howie in the first class seat, just screaming, trying to turn it off, and you couldn't turn it off. So
that's not the worst was when you came over to my room. I had just had surgery on Tuesday, and I was on the ice machine, and I was laying in my bed, and I was at the Beverly Wilshire.
Right here.
Yeah, and he came over, and I thought he was coming over because he was a good guy. Why he was coming over was he was waiting for me to pass and draw like a Hitler mustache.
I was waiting, and I said to him, you fall asleep, I'm going to draw a Hitler mustache on you. And he's like, and he's all zooted out. He got morphine out. And I was just like, I'm just going to just do this. And yeah, it was really terrible to be honest with you. It was awful.
It was. No, it was bad.
The best, and we'll tell this story, we're going to go. The thing that backfired on me the most is I got these fake lottery tickets, and you won $25,000, right? A little scratch off. So I had our assistant at the time give everybody a real lottery ticket, and
a young assistant who's not making, he's making like
yeah,
12 grand and working.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And we put a lottery ticket in each envelope, and to all, like, it was a gift for everybody. And her thing was like, thanks so much. I had the greatest time this year. I feel like I won the lottery. So that's how we framed it. But in Howie's, we put in the fake lottery ticket. I put in the fake lottery ticket. So there we are, fake lottery ticket, bam, right? Everybody else goes. The only ones who are in that are Kurt and Strahan. Nobody else knows because I need a little help. And all of a sudden they start scratching off. Michael's like, damn it, I haven't won anything. Jimmy's like, I haven't won the shit. Terry's like, this is. Kurt's like, I won $2, whatever. And all of a sudden you see Howie look at his card like, and he's not saying anything. So Michael's like, what'd you get? He goes, I think I won $25,000. Just cool. I think I won 25 grand. Michael's like, what? And Jimmy's like, what? And everybody starts going nuts. Wow, Howie won 25 grand. And I'm waiting for the joke to be like, yeah, right? And I'm waiting for Howie to go nuts. And instead, Mr. Angel over here turns around to our assistant, hands it to her, and says, Merry Christmas. Here's $25,000. To which I'm like, no!
Yeah. I know it killed you, one of your best jokes, but I'm not real comfortable with that kind of thing. I'd rather give it to somebody who needs it. I'm doing okay.
After I was mortified, everybody was like, how he's so dreamy. He's so dreamy. Yeah, totally backfired on me. Totally backfired. And thank God she was in on it, or else you would have owed her $25,000.
Right. I didn't know she was in on it. She's a sweet girl.
Oh, thank God. Could you imagine if she wasn't in on it? How shitty I would have felt?
You think about it, and I thought about it as we were wrapping up on Sunday, how lucky we are to work with such great people.
No doubt.
I mean,
family.
People who don't work where we work don't understand. Mm-hmm. But everyone in the room has a reason to kind of peacock up, but everyone's, keeps each other in check. And, the support staff we've had some of the people 27 years. So it's really a family. And at the end of the day, particularly after a year like this, which was incredibly stressful, the travel, the testing, kind of feeling like you're rolling the dice every week going to work, flying in. It was a relief to get through it this Sunday, and proud of the group.
Well, I told you too, like I need this group for my mental health, like our team. And then when the off season, I struggle. I need you guys. I really, like, in order for me to deal with my own depression, anxiety, I need teams. And our team is the one that keeps me the sanest.
My wife always said that guys need a clan. They
need a tribe.
They need a tribe. They need a group that, whether it's, for example, a good friend of mine, Mike, his son, just became a fireman in the last year. And it gives you that kind of sense of team and, camaraderie, and people can lean on each other, and they develop a relationship over a course of whatever, long their career is.
I mean, think about it. Also for us, like, man, we've been best man at each other's weddings, and there's a lot of weddings.
Yeah, I heard your best man speech in Italy.
Godfather at each other's kids.
Filming you in Italy, and I turned to the table and said, oh my God, where's he going with this?
I gave Kurt Menefee's best man speech. I saved the wedding first. Let's say that. And we're not going to say the other part here.
That's your perspective.
But then I turned into a roast, and it wasn't great. But it wasn't my finest moment. But man, we really it's incredible how close we are. People always say, like, man, you guys, we could tell that that's how you guys are. Like, people don't understand. Like we don't rehearse.
Do you really like each other?
Right? Do we really like each other?
Yeah.
We're literally. I trained Chris. I was in the bathroom with Chris the night before the draft to let him know, hey, you're going to the Rams. Scott Linehan told me, so you don't worry, right? But you better act like you know it tomorrow. Trained Chris. Trained Kyle. Met Kyle when he was 11. When you guys have helped me with Sammy. For people who don't know, like I adopted my son. I didn't know what I was doing. Howie helped me, like Howie and Diane helped me to learn how to be a parent. Like it's, and then obviously me and Stray and Kurt and yeah.
It's, I don't know that there's lots of books on it, but until you live it, you've been through it, and you're kind of figuring things out on the way. I think the reason why it's successful, I think, is because it's a lot like a marriage. You have to work at it. Our group, and you gotta understand where everyone's sensitivity is. You have to understand where that line is, and it's rarely been crossed. And it's a great group. And adding Michael in is like we couldn't have computer generated a better guy. He's a little cheap, but
he's a lot cheap. Yes.
That's what I hear. He makes a lot of money.
He makes a lot of money. He's very cheap. Very cheap.
I'm going to pup a tent in the lot next to him down in the Bahamas because I can't afford I'm just going to pup a tent right in the Bahamas.
If you guys already know, we crushed him on. How about when we did that feature 2 weeks ago? I'm like, I know what it's like to have a best friend who's cheap. He got so bent out of shape, which is great. Yeah. Hey. I love you. I appreciate you joining me tonight, buddy. I already missed you, man.
All right, partner.
Thanks for joining me. See you, bud.
Talk to you.
I love you.
How do I get out of this?
I don't fucking know. Ask Kyle.